Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon. We are from Group 4. In this presentation, we would like to discuss about testing reading. Before we start this presentation, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Maura.
My name is Bunga.
My name is Viola.
Okay, here we go.
Specifying what the candidate should be able to do. Basically, testing reading can work appropriately depending on the purpose of the assessment, whether to measure the candidate's ability in reading practice to identify strengths and weaknesses, or for the purpose of skill development process. Operation refer to the skill that readers perform when reading a text. Depending on our purpose in reading and the kind of text we are dealing with, we may read in 5 different ways. The first one is skimming. Skimming is when you read through a piece of writing quickly to see what is about and obtain main ideas and discuss topic quickly and efficiently. The second one is search reading. To quickly find information on a predetermined topic. And the last one is scanning. Scanning is when you scan the page to find answer to questions or for research and study. And also to quick find specific words or phrases, figures, and percentages. Text that candidates are expected to be able to deal with can be specified along a number of parameters. They are text types. We can use textbooks, handouts, article, and so on. For the text form, we can use description text, exposition text, instruction text, and so on. And for the topics, it is better to use general topics. Style, it is specified in terms of formality, either it is formal or informal. It depends on the purpose of the assessment. And the last one is speed. The expected speed of reading will combine with the number and difficulty of items to determine the amount of time needed for the test or part of it. As I mentioned before, once again, it depends on the purpose of the assessment.
Writing items. Writing items is the next consideration. The purpose are first, measure the ability in which we are interested, elicit reliable behavior from candidates, and permit highly reliable scoring. Possible techniques followed by writing items are first, multiple choice. Multiple choices is the candidate provides evidence of successful reading by making a mark against one out of a number of alternatives. True or false questions with only one distractor and a 50% probability of choosing the correct response by change. Uh, the example of multiple choice is like in the narrative text, the student rearranging the ideas or topic discussed in the text, explaining the outer purpose of writing the text, summarizing the main idea, and so on. And then information transfer. Minimizing demands on candidates' writing ability is to require them to show a successful completion of a reading task by supplying simple information in a table following a route on a map, labeling a picture, and so on. Information transfer to show simple information in text, picture, etc. Example, there is a descriptive text of an event and student make a group of some important things in a chart. Okay. Short answer. It is better with an unique correct response. First, for testing the ability to identify reference. testing the ability to predict the meaning of a word in context, and then testing the ability to make various distinctions, and testing scanning, and then last, testing the ability to structure a text. Gap filling. When the required response is so complex and it may cause writing and scoring problems, so this is the reason. First, to test if the candidate had grasped the main idea, to test the ability to recognize detail presented support a main idea, and summary close. In gap filling, example, he has always blah 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 to do what he wanted. So the blah 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 is A could be allowed or either could be used here. And the teacher is using teacher usually using multiple choice. So mm, depends on teacher want to choose multiple choice or easy is depending on the teacher.
Setting criteria levels of performance. Performance criteria are the expression of what is to be measured. There are several ways to set your criteria level for receptive skill. Traditional pass mark expression in percentages. No direct interpretation. Setting criteria level for receptive skill is more problematical. Traditional pass mark expressed in percentages. 40%, 50%, or 60% are hardly helpful, since there seems no way of providing a direct interpretation of such a score. No need to specify criteria level of performance before tests constructed or administered. To use the test text themselves to define that level, the best way to process is to use the test text themselves to define the level. Compare performance on the test using scales. Setting the text. Selecting text. Select a representative. Keep specification constantly in mind and try to select a representative as simple as possible. Do not repeatedly select these texts of a particular kind simply because they are readily available. Just text of appropriate length. Scanning might call for passages of up to 2,000 words or more. Detailed reading can be tested using passages of just a few sentences. Include as many passages as possible. In order to obtain acceptable reliability, include as many passages as possible in a test, thereby giving candidate a good number of fresh starts. Do not choose texts that are too culturally driven. Assuming that is only reading ability which is being tested, do not use texts which are too culturally related. Do not use texts which students already read. Interesting article for candidate. Avoid texts of general knowledge and already read by candidates. Look for texts which have discrete pieces. Procedure for writing items. There are several steps for writing items. Carefully reading. The starting point for writing items is a carefully reading of the text, having the specified operation in mind. Note main points. A note should be taken of main points, interesting piece of information, stack of argument, example, and so on. Add paragraph number and line number. Text and items should be present to colleges for moderation. Practical advice on item writing. There are 3 advice on item writing. In scanning tests, present items in the order in which the answer can be found in the text. Do not write item for which the correct response can be found without understanding the text. Do not include items that some candidates are likely to be able to answer without reading text. And the last, a note on scoring. In reading tests, error of grammar, spelling, or punctuation should not be penalized, provided that it is clear that the candidate has successfully performed at the reading text test, which the item said the function of a reading test is to test reading ability. To test productive skill at the same time simply make the measurement of reading ability less accurate. And well, thank you for watching and listening. My oldest we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you.